Hey, if you were watching a movie and the character in the movie had a mindset that you wanted to develop in yourself so much, for how many times would you watch it? There is this movie called 12 Angry Men that the mindset of one of the characters was so amazing that I knew that just watching it once, twice, three times, or any time would not be enough. So I watched it for 5 times and I wrote down like 4 pages to analyze the personality. And now here I am to give you the lessons that I've learned from this movie, which are really strong. Like the life lessons that it teaches you are things that you have to experience, but without experiencing, you can learn them. The first one is that logic is not always enough. Like, this one is really heartbreaking for the old me because I used to think that logic is enough in everything because I thought that, okay, we have this rule. So if we follow this rule, everything is going to be okay, under control and all that. But hey, we are living in a society. When you want to start your business, when you want to go work somewhere, when you want to communicate with somebody, when you want to analyze something, when you have to make a judgment, or anything that's related to people, society, humans, souls, and feelings and emotions, dude, logic is not going to be enough. By being logical in those situations, you're going to make a fool out of yourself. Because yes, logic says this, that, this, that. But sometimes you gotta go beyond logic. You gotta open things. You gotta see things from not only your own perspective, but also the perspective of someone else. And this was really beautiful because, like, ever since I learned this, I didn't just allow myself to think anything of somebody, judge someone like that, or accuse something of something unless hello Manus, unless I had enough proof. Because it's really important. We humans forget sometimes that, hey, the other person also has emotion. Like, I used to forget personally. The other person might overthink something that might sound normal to me. So I make sure that I consider things, but not in a way that would be too much. Because this movie also taught me the balance. Yeah, in some cases, your logic is going to work. But in some other cases, you need to analyze it. And the understanding of when you need to analyze and when you don't need to is also another lesson that I would love to learn. Now, on to the second lesson is that when you are biased on something, when you say, for example, okay, we have, for example, two people, person A and person B. When you're biased with person A, no matter how much person B is saying the truth, no matter how much they're trying to convince you on something that's actually the best choice for you, you will stay on person A's side. And you know what that means? A closed mindset. Literally the opposite of an open mindset, literally the opposite of a mindset that's ready to grow, that's open. When you be biased with some person, do you think that you're not going to be biased with your mindset now? When you're biased with somebody, do you think that you're not going to be biased with the lifestyle that you have now? And do you think there will be space for growth? I don't think so. And this was really beautiful for me because, yes, I tried my best to have an open mindset. I try my best to be like, open to growth and open to change, and admit my mistakes, admit the things that I didn't know and all that. But this point is really beautiful, that in society, in communications, in your friend groups, and the people around you, how much are you actually open? Like, things are connected. The way you do one thing, you do everything. And this helps a lot to learn actually how much was your mind even open or not. And that's just so beautiful, When you have to deal with logic, and words cannot explain things that don't deal with logic, but you have to somehow bring them into words. The method that I saw that the person played in the movie, I'm trying my best not to spoil it because it's amazing. I think that anybody should watch it at least once. Is that you know how you can be a wonderful leader, somebody who's actually worthy and enough to be a leader? It's when you look at things from an upward perspective. You observe. You don't just make actions. You don't just make reactions. You wouldn't just do things. You're literally a leader who sees that what's needed where. Just a little bit of moment of observation really helps because I personally, actually, I'm not going to make it I personally used to say, okay, I see it this way, so this person is going to see it this way too. So whatever that works for me should work for them too. But that's not true. Doesn't necessarily mean that something that works for me has to work for someone else. In fact, everybody is humans. Everybody has their own mindset. Everybody has their own understanding of things. And we have to see what they're looking for. We have to see what it is that's actually, even if we're in a conflict, what is the base? What is the cause of the conflict? And when you find it, I bet that you can actually find the solution. And one other thing that was really beautiful in it, not spoiling, don't worry, somebody was saying that, okay, for example, the person ran away, the person escaped because they were in panic, they were scared. And somebody else asked, okay, that depends on the definition that you have for panic. Do you see that? Even things that might sound normal to all of us might actually not be normal, might actually be different for somebody else. And it was so beautiful for me because for example, when we look at someone, we're like, okay, they might be shy, they might be nervous, they might be scared, they might be blah, blah, blah. But that also depends on our own definition. I learned that this movie actually got me out of my head and actually brought me more into life because it taught me that it's not just always about what I make any judgment of. It's not always just about logic. It's not always just about following the rules. It's not just always about following the crowd. It's about thinking. It's about being alive. When you're dead in the mind, you will just continue being biased because your mind is closed. You're no longer making it work for you. You're just letting it work, letting it ride you. There's this beautiful sentence that I've read somewhere which says, the mind is an amazing servant and a horrible, or I'd better say, a terrible leader. And this movie opened my eyes into actually stop just letting my mind ride me with the data that it has now and to give it data all the time and to ask it to analyze things so that I can make a decision. I don't allow it to make a decision for me based on the past. I analyze things because every moment, the present moment, is not the past and it's not the future that you're predicting. It's now. It's something that you have to face now, and only by actually analyzing it, only by actually opening your mind can you do it. And it's really beautiful because the other lesson that it taught me was that when you don't want to forgive, when you don't want to let go, nothing can actually come to you. I don't know if you paid attention to some motivational videos, but most of them say, let go. Now I understand why they keep saying let go. Because when you hold on to the past things, to the things that you have grudge for, you have pain with, you have any trauma, whatever, but holding on to them will take the space that you could actually give to growth. Only by letting go, only by forgiving, only by just being open can you be open. And that's really beautiful. I never knew that it would be as simple as this to have an open mindset. What I'm trying my best to is to open my mind every day, make sure that I don't just judge from perspective of biased things or, whatever you condemn, you become that. So I always make sure that in situations, I don't just be like, oh my god, look at this person being like this, being like that. No. Instead of wasting my energy, wasting my time, wasting my anything on that, I try to see, okay, what it is that's making them like that, so that I can avoid it, so that I can understand it, so that even if we get into a communication, even if we get into a talk, I don't create a mess. I don't make them have beef with me. And it's like this movie, 12 Angry Men, really helped me a lot, and it has actually so much more lessons that I would kind of like to make a video of, talking about the whole movie, things that happened in it. But here are the main lessons that I learned from it. Number one, to have an open mindset, you must let go. Number two, not everything works with logic and rules. Sometimes you got to use your soul, your feelings, your emotions, and then your mind. And number three is that letting the mind ride you will get you to nowhere. In fact, it will get you to somewhere. It will get you to familiar places. It will never get you to places where you have never been to. And number four is that I don't know everything. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. We don't know everything. So we cannot always make a strong judgment. And yeah, this is the video for today. I hope that these lessons that I've learned help you, because they helped me a lot. And if you get the time to, really, I recommend you to watch the 12 Angry Men movie, so that even when I come and talk about it, you can also understand with me and share your opinions with me. In this video, also tell me what else you could learn from my video that I didn't mention now. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming this far in this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Mwah!